Alright, so we are back. We're going to do episode 2, where the heroes actually go through and explore the old fishery. And we are eventually going to get down to figure out where this minor crime lord is who has so ruined the lives of these 4 strangers who have come together in an incredible circumstance to attack this guy's stronghold and take their vengeance. I'm going to take you now to the dice cam. The dice cam is here, and let's see if I can turn off. I'm going to turn off the slideshow and this generic encounter. Let's see, encounter window. Where am I? There we go. All right. How's the music? It's pretty amazingly epic music. I think I'm going to switch the mood to something a little bit more moody. But I am ready to get started. So here we go. I'm going to pause this. I'm going to just bring that down a little bit. Alright, the music should be coming down in 1 second. Sirenscape is it's janky. Come on, Sirenscape. If I refresh. Do. There we go. It's coming on down. Alright, so it is going to be Hello, Asthmatic. Welcome back to episode 2. Alright, so my goal for the music is for you to be able to hear it. But not be crazy loud. Anyways, alright, so here's how you play Pathfinder, the card game. You see all these cards here, and what we're going to do is we're going to have each of these characters, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to take their turns exploring what is right now 3 different locations, and as they dip down into each of these locations, there's a chance that they're going to uncover the main villain, and hopefully not until the end. If I do discover him early, I have an opportunity to guard the other locations if someone is there, but it means splitting the party, so I'm going to try not to do that. Alright. I think I'm looking at the music levels and I'm seeing minus 40 to minus 45, so I might be able to go up a little bit. Let's see, my headphones and what you might be hearing are just different. Okay. So I'm gonna bring back, let's see, generic encounter. This graphic here, and I'm gonna move that right there. And I'm gonna bring that back down here. Beautiful. Okay, so Hakon is up. Hakon is the Skald that you see. Thank you. Glad the balance is good on the music. Alright, so the Skald is going to explore this location first. First thing I do, there are these 2 decks over here are sort of like a timer, and they're called blessings, and I'll turn down the blessings to move the timer forward 1 on every turn. Each step also has like special powers that happen sometimes. Let's see. Alright, so this one says nothing happens. When this deck runs out, I lose the game. Woo! Alright, I am now holding his hands. He has a spiked gauntlet. So if I encounter a monster, I don't know what's going to happen. Alright, this is a frog. Let me see if I can do this. Boom. It's a frog. Oh yes. Frog's a good guy, and I'm going to try to acquire him. I have to roll wisdom, fortitude, or survival, and I have to get 4 or higher. His wisdom is D4. He does not have fortitude or survival. But there's no big loss if I fail, because he's just a good guy and not a monster. So I'm going to go ahead and just roll that D4 and try to get a 4. Where's my... Yeah. Here we go. D4. I got a 2, so no, I didn't get it. The frog goes away. Well, I didn't get the frog, but I did work through this location a little bit. Some cards will let me continue working at that location, but I'm not. Oh, here we go. Banish to examine the top card of your location. This is Detect Evil. If it is a monster, you may encounter, and if it is not, you may shuffle the location. Banishing means the card goes away for the rest of the game, instead of in my discard pile. Discards get a chance to get them back, and your draw pile is your life, so you want to get your discards back. Banishing removes cards from the game, so it's sort of it's definitely a cost. Anyway, so I banish to examine. Mercenary. It does count as a monster. It says I may encounter if I want. Charisma or diplomacy. Charisma, diplomacy. I have to get if I roll diplomacy, I have to get a 9. And his charisma is D8 plus 1. So I could get a 9. But it's certainly not a guarantee. I think what I'm gonna do, let's see who's next. Varian is next. Varian has some good spells. So I only examined, not explored, so I don't actually have to encounter this guy, and I'm gonna stop Hakon's turn right now. I'm gonna move the It's My Turn ticket thing over to Varian, and it is now Varian's turn. Varian looks like this. And Varian is going to encounter the mercenary. So if he's going to encounter the mercenary, we're going to get some battle music. Alright, pause. Let's see if I can get this going. Alright, good. Battle music started. Checking my levels. Still around minus 40. Minus 35. Alright, so if that is a different kind of balance, let me know. He is going to recharge a Staff of Minor Healing, so I place that Staff of Minor Healing along the bottom. I grab a card from his discard, and I put that on his bottom as well. Let's see if I can move that up here so you can see that happening. Alright, and then he is going to now encounter this location as if he was exploring it for the first time. Does the timer deck advance only... Oh, I forgot to advance the timer deck. You're absolutely right. Every turn I should be doing this. Boom. Every time one takes a turn, you're exactly right. And this timer card says, when you would discard a boon to bless a strength or constitution, you may recharge it instead. That's pretty cool. So a boon is any good card. And discarding obviously goes in your discard pile. Recharge goes at the bottom of your draw pile, so you'll get it back eventually. So that's cool that I might get to do that. He's encountering this mercenary. He is going to combat him, and I have to get a 12 or higher. I will play Frostbite. Varian is a wizard who has a kind of a weird character trait where he can't do the verbal component of spells. Every time he does, he throws up. And for a while, he didn't think he had any magical capabilities at all. He just enjoyed studying the craft. This is from the Pathfinder novels that I listened to on Audible. But he eventually finds that if he records the spell in like a kid's flip book and spins the pages in his hands, then the flip book sort of flies out of his hands and shoots across the room, and the flipping motion recreates the verbal component as if he had said the verbal component of the spell. And suddenly he realized he could cast the spells that he had been practicing, because he sort of records all the components in the ink and then just spits them out. So suddenly, I think it was book 2 or maybe late book 1, he realized he's a spellcaster, which was a pretty cool development. So he gets out a little flip book and he goes and he casts Frostbite. For your combat check, banish to use your arcane skill plus 2d4. If the check is against a bane, which is not, then blah blah blah. So I'll skip that part. And then I discard the card, but I could succeed at an arcane 8 to recharge it instead. Okay, so his arcane is D12 plus 2. Let me go ahead and try and recharge it instead. D12 plus 2. 6 plus 2 is 8. Good, I did it. So instead of discarding the card, I'm going to get to stick it at the bottom of my draw pile. And I will get to, for this skill, I get to use Arcane, which is D12. Oh, I just had that D12. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Plus 2D4. Plus 2, because that's a skill. I'm going to stick this at the bottom of his draw pile now. Yeah, I see how with this game you'd want like a really big table instead of what I'm working with. Alright, and so my max roll is going to be 12, plus 8 is 20, plus 2 from his skill is 22. I need to get 12, so he's almost at a 50% chance of succeeding here. Nothing here is going to help me. Let's see if Hakon can help me. No. Okay, let's see if who's next. Quinn, the investigator, can help me. For your here we go. On a local combat check, freely recharge to add a 1d4. So I'm going to stick this at the bottom of Quinn's. This is a dagger, so Quinn throws a dagger. And I add another 1d4. I am now at a possible 26, and I need to get 12. So that's about a 50-50 success rate. And then Quinn finally is going to bless this. This should blow this guy out of the water. When you play a blessing, you can't see this on my little narrow webcam, but this is a blessing, and it says discard this card to add 1 die to any check. So that D12, which is the base die, becomes 2D12. Now I get to roll a fistful of dice. And I should destroy this mercenary with my Frosty Dagger Blast. Alright, so that is a natural 12. That's an 11, and I already got it without having to add up all that other mess. Boom. The risk is that I might have overdone it, and I might have gotten rid of cards that I didn't need to get rid of, because cards are your life in this game. Alright, so the mercenary's gone. That was exciting, though, to do a combat. Okay, and we now bring the music back down. And we get a hooray! Awesome. Alright. Great job, Varian, for using your Frostbite Blast and Quinn's extra dagger to just totally murder that mercenary and explore this location, the alley. Alright, do I have any other cards that let me keep exploring? No. Okay, so he's going to draw up to his hand. He can up to 6, so 4, 5, 6. I think I forgot to do that for Hakon. Hakon has 3 and he can hold 4, so he just gets to draw 1 more. Boom. I'm going to move the It's My Turn token to Quinn. Quinn looks like this, and Quinn turns the timer down. On your check against an undead card, add 1d6. And Quinn is going to explore this location. Here we go. Yes, Asthmatic. The villagers rejoice. Okay, he uncovers a silver Balladeer. This is a good guy card, and I'm going to try to acquire it, but there's really no harm, no foul if I fail. If I get it, I can recharge to banish a card that has Curse or Haunt. It's okay. I'm going to try to acquire it just for fun. Charisma or Diplomacy 6. My Diplomacy is D6 plus 2. Here we go. I need to get a 4, 5, or a 6. 4. I got a 4. I got it. He gets the silver Balladeer. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to... I don't think she's going to be very useful. So at the bottom of the card it says discard to explore your location, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Boom. He discards the card, and I explore again. I don't have to do a timer when I use that mechanic. It's a helpful haversack. At the start of your turn, reveal to examine the top card of your deck. That's kind of cool. Dexterity or intelligence 6. His dexterity is a 6. His intelligence is a D10. Alright, so I'm going to go for it. With boons, there's really no harm in going for it. And if I fail, I lose it. And if I win, I get it. I need to get a 6 or higher. And I got a 7. This guy, Quinn, he's a machine. At the start of your turn... Okay, so I'll save that for later. Okay, I'm gonna recharge my magnifying glass. Here's my magnifying glass, and I get to look at my own draw pile to examine the top 2 cards of your deck, and then you may shuffle your deck. Alright, so recharge means I put it at the bottom of my draw pile, and I just want to make sure the top 2 cards in my deck are super useful. They are, so I'll leave them right where they are. And I think that I'm done, so I'm going to draw cards up to his max hand, move the It's My Turn token to Kira, and Kira is going to move down the timer. This one says, on each check, the first blessing may be blessed freely. That's good. There's a limit on how many blessings each character can play. A blessing lets you roll more dice, and each character can only play 1. That card says the first one doesn't count. That's good. My blessings pile has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 turns left, which is just not going to happen. I'm not going to get these 3 locations, and so my choices are play by the rules and lose, get really lucky and win, or cheat, which I might do that, and then I would just adjust the story, saying, oh well, battle scars and a near loss, but they escaped with their lives, because it's my game and I'm going to do what I want. Take that. Alright, so she is going to, let me check her hand first. Before you explore, you want to check your hand. You can cure, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play banish a card to heal a local character 1d4 plus 1 cards. So with this mechanic, I get to roll 1 plus 1, that's 2. I get to go to her discard pile and reclaim some of these cards, which I will now do at random. When your draw pile runs out, you die. So getting cards back from your discard is super awesome. A lot of cards don't let you do that. When instead of discarding, you banish them from the game and they're not eligible to ever come back. Crying face. Alright, so I'll grab 2 random cards, stick them at the bottom of my draw pile, and put my discard back. Alright. Alright, Kira. What are we gonna do? Reload to examine. Here we go. I've got Zalera's card deck. So Kira is holding Zalera's cards. If you remember, Zalera was the fortune teller who sent us on this mission. And Kira is going to banish to examine the top 3 cards of any location. Awesome. So banish means put this card away forever. It'll never come back. That's 1 less discard I'll ever get back. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I got a ghoul, boon called Materialize, and an obstacle called a Razor Snare. What I really want to do is find Gadrin Lamb. Oh boy. Alright. Does the card let me put them back in any order I want? Return them in any order. It sure does. Okay, so I will probably put this is dexterity. Yeah, I'll probably put the easy ones on top. Okay, so then she explores her location. Oh, look at that. It's a card that I knew it was going to be. It's a skill called Materialize. I need to roll a 7 or higher to get it. I can roll Arcana or Intelligence. Well, she doesn't have skills that are high enough to get that. And so unless I intercede with cards that I'm going to discard, then she won't ever win. So I'm going to just go ahead and... I want to save my cards. Alright, so I'm going to end her turn there. She's going to draw up to her level. Up to her card capacity. I'll move the It's My Turn token. I will advance to the timer deck, which says no effect on this turn. And I will send Hakon. I'm going to guess that Gage and Lamb is not at this location at all. So I'm going to separate the party and have Hakon go somewhere else. Oh, man. Okay. At this location, this is the boat. So let's go to the location screen. Alright. A little bit more mobile, but my AirPods aren't working tonight. Pathfinder boat. How about D&D boat? Doesn't have to be a Pathfinder image. There we go. Oh, it's gorgeous. Beautiful. Okay. And so we are at Hakon now. Hakon is at this boat, and it says at this location, when you move, any local characters may move with you. That's good. That's real good. Okay. Alright. He is going to draw this card and examine it. It's a ghost! Oh, gross. Alright. Pathfinder ghost. That's a good looking ghost. Alright, and we're going to change the battle music. Or change the mood music. Come on, mood music. Go away. Oh, Sirenscape. I'm refreshing you. Stop on the music. And turning on the battle music. Hello, Fry64. How is it going? It is going super well. I am working on my lighting and my sound. Your feedback is welcome. Later on my list is this camera. I want to be able to have it right over the desk and not at this weird angle, and have you be able to see more of it, because there's a lot of cards going on here. Check this out. There's my... Maybe that'll work. Alright. Hopefully you won't get nauseous looking at that weird vertigo angle. Hakon! Okay, so Hakon separated from the party, and he is now at this boat location exploring on his own. I have reason to believe that Gage and Lamb is not at this location, and I'm running out of turns. I am probably going to run out of this deck, and then I lose this whole scenario. And this took me several sittings to get this far. My choices are play by the rules and lose, and set this up and try again later, or slap myself on the wrist, maybe give the character some kind of penalty, and just move on to the next story, which I'm strongly considering. Anyway, so Hakon is here. He's fighting this ghost, and he's on his own. And he's got his horn, and he's got maybe like a bow, or he's got two axes in that picture. Anyway, so he needs to get a 13 or higher to defeat this guy, and so I'm going to be looking at his skills and seeing what I have available to me. The check has to have the magic trait where the monster is undefeated. Ugh. Okay. Alright. Okay, first card I have at my disposal, a Spiked Gauntlet. On your combat check revealed, add 1 and the melee and piercing traits. You may additionally reload it to add 1d4. You may not play weapons or attack spells in this check. Alright, let's see what I got here. His melee is d10 plus 2. That's a good start. d10 plus 2. I'm reloading the card so that I'll get a 1d4, and I'll get to add 1 on top of that, so I have these dice plus 3 now. So that's a possible score of 17, and I need to get 13. We're off to a good start. Alright. Guys, it is so great having you here. Thank you for joining me on this adventure as Hakon splits the party to fight a ghost on his own, armed with a spiked gauntlet. What a crazy man. On your local strength check, you may bury a card from your hand to add your diplomacy. Now this is where he comes in handy, being a skald. So he's going to bury this spell that he acquired somewhere. He can't cast spells. And then, thank you, Asmedic. Thank you for encouraging TPKs. Playable characters should die. I hope we all get to see a TPK tonight. Alright, so I get to add his diplomacy, which is D8 plus 1. D8 plus 1. Alright, so now I have these dice plus 4. I should be good to go. 12, 8 is 20, plus 4 is 24, plus the 4 points is 28, and I need to get 13. So I am like maybe 50, 52% likely to succeed. And nobody else can help him because he split the party. He split the party. Why did I do this? This is a terrible decision. Any card that a character holds that says on a local check means that's where the location comes into play. He's not local to anybody. Alright, here's a card that says discard to bless on any check. So I might do that. So Quinn is going to discard a blessing. Blessing lets me take my core die, which in this case is a D10. Oh, that's not a D10, that's a D12. And I get to add another one. Alright, so I'm going to get all this plus 4 points. I'm upset because this is basically just a super fancy punch against a ghost, and although I'm going to get the points, it says if the card doesn't have the magic trait associated with it, you don't defeat the guy. And so I'm going to have to shuffle him back into the deck, and he might have to punch a ghost later. Also, I rolled awfully, so we've got 3 plus 1, that's 4, plus 1, that's 5, plus 2, that's 7, plus the 4 points on his various skills, that's 11, and I needed 13. Fails. Alright, so here's what happens. If the check to defeat, blah blah blah. Alright, so I needed 13. I got 11. That's a difference of 2. He takes 2 damage. 2 damage means you take the cards from your hand and you discard 2 of them, which are my only 2 cards left in my hand. If you have armor, then that can substitute. Some armors say discard, and then you don't have to discard anything else. But I don't have any armor, so I'm discarding both. This draw pile is my life, and when it goes away, I die, and I just can't lose cards. I didn't even defeat the ghost. He's shuffling back into the deck right now. Listen, if you have a metal spiked hand, and you come face to face with a ghost, yes, obviously you should punch it in the face, but don't be surprised when he laughs at you and melts back into the wall, which is what's happening here. End of his turn, I'm going to draw up to his encounter, or his card size, 2, 3, 4. I'll just set that down. The encounter is over. The music goes away. It's Varian's turn. Varian's turn. Nope. Varian's turn. There he is. Okay. I'm going to move my timer down. This says if you are at a wild location, you may discard a card to explore. I'm not. The card has traits, though, and it's an urban location. Alright. I don't know if I'm emotionally ready, but Varian is going to move to join Hakon. They're now local to each other. And he's going to draw to explore the location. He discovers a crowbar, and he's going to try to acquire it. Thank goodness it's not a monster. Strength, D6. I need to get a 3 or higher. 2. Fail. Well, it was a nice crowbar, but it's gone. Does he have any cards that let him continue exploring? Yes. Discard to explore. This exploration on checks to close your location, add 1d6. Okay, so he discards to explore. It's the ghost. It's the ghost. Alright, so fortunately he's got some magic. So here's what he's gonna do. He's going to reveal a flame staff. Reveal to use arcane, which in this case, in Varian's case, is a d12 plus 2. D12 plus 2. Plus 1d4, the card says. You may discard a spell to add another 1d8, which he will do. I will discard false life. Alright. 1d8. Alright, so my roll is 12, plus 8 is 20, plus 4 is 24, plus his 2 points is 26, and I need to get 13 or higher. I'm on my way. I got magic. I got a 50-50 shot of doing this. Alright. He is undead. Okay. I don't have anything else. I might play Mirror Image. Yeah, I'm gonna play Mirror Image. Mirror Image is just like an insurance policy in case I take damage, but otherwise it's not gonna do anything. Okay, here we go. I roll this, I add 2, and I want to get 13 or higher. 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 3, I got it. Mirror Image is banished. Oh, I can roll an arcane 11. Let's see. Nope. Mirror Image is banished. On the other hand, the ghost is defeated. Varian's like, you're welcome. And I didn't even play combat music. It was just over that quickly. And he's going to draw up to his hand. So he's got 6 left. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then it is going to be Quinn's turn. You got this, Quinn. Quinn is going to burn down a turn card. On your check, you may discard a card to reroll a 1 that shows 1 or 2. This is a drunken Kalen's Revelry. It sort of means if you stumble, you get to keep stumbling and stumble a little less. Alright, Quinn. Okay. Explore this place. Barrier. This is a trap card. Symbol of sleep. I need to roll an intelligence, wisdom, arcane, or divine. I need to get 8 or higher. If undefeated, I become exhausted. Gross. Intelligence is D10. Wisdom is D8. Arcane, he doesn't have. Divine, he doesn't have. So it's going to be Intelligence, D10. Alright, what kind of skills does he have? Does his check involve Finesse? No. On your local check against a barrier, yes, you may bury a card to add your Perception. His Perception is D8 plus 2. That is absolutely what he's going to do. Okay, so he buries this riding horse that he's carrying with him. Goodbye, horse. And, are you rooting for the ghost? Pathfinder always improves with booze. Yes, it does, Asmetic. Of course, it's just trying to rest in peace, and Quinn is disturbing him. I punched that ghost in the face! Alright, so Quinn gets to use his Intelligence, which is D10. I buried a card, so I get to add my Perception, which is D8 plus 2. Alright, so that's going to be a possible of 20, and I need to get 8, so I'm over 50%. I think I'm going to go for it. Here we go. I got it. 5 and 5 plus 2 is 12, and I needed 8. Quinn does not fall asleep. Oh, I forgot to move Quinn's little token. Quinn is now over here with these guys. Great. Awesome. Okay, I don't have anything that lets me explore, so he's all done. He's got 4 cards. I can hold 6. 1, 2. His turn is over. It is now Kira's turn. I'm going to move Kira as well. Kira's going to burn down her thingamajig, the timer. On your check against a spell, add 1d4. And Kira explores the location. It is a Wander Meal. It's a good card. Let's see if I can acquire it. Intelligence or Craft, d6. I have a d6 Intelligence, so if I get a 6, I get it. 5. I don't get it. Goodbye, Wander Meal. At least I'm moving through the location. I now have 4 turns left in the game, and all of these location cards, and I'm starting to regret my life choices. Okay, so Kira is, does she have any cards that let her continue exploring? Yes, she's got tons. Alright, so here we go. Discard to examine the top card of your location, and then you may explore. Alright, so I will examine. It's a mouse. I will explore. I'm going to try to use her Wisdom, which is a D10. I need to get 4 or higher. I got a 1. I don't get the mouse. I will play another card that lets me explore. Each time I do this, I'm discarding basically a life card. And that could come back to bite me. But I'm running dangerously low on this, and I need to find the villain. Okay, oh, sorry. So I will now discard. Okay, well, it's a villain. Chemist. Before acting, each local character suffers 1 acid damage. Cards discarded as damage are discarded randomly. Okay, so here's the deal. Shoot, she only has 1 card that can really help her, and I do not want to get rid of it. Alright, so I'm going to play this leather armor and reduce that damage to 0. Banish to reduce to 0. Basically, it just means I get to control her discards. Hakon is going to... he's got armor. When you suffer combat damage, you may recharge to reduce it by 2. He's going to do that. And Varian does not have armor, so he's going to lose a random card. Alright. Acid! Ah! Alright, let's get some combat music in here. We're gonna fight. this chemist. So the chemist is a character from the encounter. Yargen Balko. Yargen is like the lead henchman at this old fishery / drug factory. Kira is going to apply Frozen Touch for your combat check. Let me make sure she doesn't want to do craft or diplomacy. D8 plus 1. Well, I could reason with Jürgen Balko. I could. I think I might actually. Oh, that's a good idea. The DC is lower. So for... Here, I'll show you what it says. Jürgen Balko. Craft diplomacy 6 plus hashtag. And the hashtag is the number difficulty of this encounter, which is 1. So I need to get 7. And she can roll a D8 plus 1. I've already got a head start, and I have cards I can add to that. Let's do that. Alright, so there's Kira, the cleric, going, Yargen, you don't have to do this. And Quinn is like, you're absolutely right. He doesn't have to do this. And discards a card to add 1 die. D8. D8. Here's 1. Okay, that's all he can do. And then on another character's check, discard the bless. There's another D8. D8. Should be good now. 3d8 is 24 plus 1 from her skill is 25, and I need to get 7. So, this is easy peasy. You don't have to do this, Yargen. Yargen. Got it. 6 plus 2 is 8, and I needed 7. The chemist is gone. It says, nothing special. Alright, now, to close this location, succeed at a wisdom or survival 5 plus hashtag 1, so that's 6. Wisdom or survival. D10, you need to get 6 or higher. Varian is going to play another blessing. On a local check, discard the bless. D10. Okay, here we go. I need to get 6 or higher. I got it. 19. The location is closed. Alright, that's a small victory. There are 2 more locations that the main villain could be hiding at. And I only have 3 more turns to win this game. Oh man. How many blessings are left? 3. I only have 3 more. 3 more turns. I don't know what I did wrong when I played this game the other night. I'm trying to save my game, which is where I put all the piles in the box in a way that I can pull them back out again and make this giant mess that you see here. Only 3 turns. How much did I miss? Yeah, this is like my... Oops. This is my 3rd sitting, I think. 2nd or 3rd sitting that I've been playing this encounter. Started off with 6 locations. I'm down now to 2. Okay, so she's going to draw up to her hand capacity. 3, 4, 5. The encounter is over. Thank you, Sirenscape. And we're going to move her. It's my turn token over there. It is now Hakon's turn. I'll put back the generic encounter graphic. Okay. Alright, Hakon. You can do this. If you see a ghost, punch it. Hakon is going to move to the office. The office says, when you would reveal, reload, or recharge an animal ally, discard it instead. I think it's because in the story, the office has a pet alligator at this point, and so they're saying like if you pull out your pet dog, then the pet dog gets eaten. Anyway, so he's going to explore his location. Burglar. This is an ally. I'm going to try to acquire him. I can roll a charisma or diplomacy 6. He's got a pretty high charisma. D8 plus 1. This might be like a 30% chance to succeed. 7. I got it. That's important because you can spend allies to continue exploring. Discard the top card of your location. If it is a boon, you may explore. But if it's not a boon, I don't get to explore. But I want to keep exploring. Alright, so I will play a blessing. Discard to bless. I'm sorry, discard to explore. Bandit. Oh, baby. Bandit is... Hold on. Hookshanks. Do I have Hookshanks in here? I don't. He's just going to be a bandit. So Hookshanks looks like this. Pathfinder Hookshanks. He is this nasty little gnome creature. And we gotta get some encounter music. You're saying I stand a chance of beating this game with 2 turns left? This is why this game is so great. Alright. Once again, Hakon is on his own. I need to do a combat 9 hashtag. So that's 11. Or banish a random boon. I'm holding boons. I might do that. Before acting, recharge a card. Okay. Before acting, I'm going to recharge a blessing. Then, it says I have the option of banishing a random boon. I'm going to go with this one. I banished the burglar. Nice. It means I have a chance at closing this location. To close or to guard. Succeeded a charisma, diplomacy, fortitude, 5 plus 1, so that's 6. Okay, I can roll a d8 plus 1. And I need to get 6 or higher. And he's on his own in the location. Looking for cards that say I can play anywhere. Reveal this card. Nope. What does she have? No, nobody has anything? Okay. I'm gonna play a hero point. I gave myself these points, 1 per session. That's sort of outside the rules, but you know, it's my game, so deal with it. And he is going to roll this twice and take the higher roll. I get to add 1 each time, and I need to get 6 or higher. This is a d8. 3. No. 3 plus 1 is 4. I need a 6. 8. Yes. Okay, so keeping on my battery. All right, so I close this location. All right, well, that is a huzzah. And Hookshanks is gone. Not Hookshanks like Hermione's cat. Or is it? Or is it Hookshanks like Hermione's cat? What do we know about Hookshanks? I don't remember. I don't remember the books at all. Okay, so he is going to draw up to his hand size. 3, 4. Oh, he's got some good ones. Some good ones. And I can't... Did I move him this time? I think I did. Alright, so it's gonna be... Shoot. I just dropped a bunch of cards on the floor. Alright, it's gonna be Varian's turn. Come on, Varian. Varian is going to move on his own to back to the alley where this all started. Now, I faced Gadron Lamb before, and I didn't defeat him. Or maybe I did defeat him, and he moved to a random location, so I don't actually know if he's in this location, this last location. I hope he is. Here we go. Varian burns down the turn card. When you discard a boon to bless a dexterity or charisma check, you may recharge it instead. Okay, Varian. You got this. I've been burning through blessings like crazy. Razor Snare. If undefeated, suffer the Scourge Entangled. I need to roll a 6 or higher, and I get to use either Dexterity, Acrobatics, Disable, or Survival. His Acrobatics is D8 plus 1, and I need a 6 or higher. Okay. On a local check at an urban location, Varian's card says, you may recharge a card to add 1d4. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna recharge a shuriken. So that goes up here. Alright, so for his dexterity, I get 1d8 plus 1 plus his special urban skill, d4. That's 12 plus his point is 13, and I need to get 6 or higher, so I'm over 50% chance. I'm gonna go for it. 6. Got it. He defeats the Razor Snare. And he doesn't have anything else that lets him keep exploring, so that's his turn. He draws up to his hand size. 3, 4, 5, 6. Left in his draw pile is 3 cards. Now if I run out of cards here, and I run out of cards in my hand, he dies. Ugh. Okay, moving on to Quinn. And Quinn is going to move the turn on your check against the animal or elemental. He's going to join Varian over here. He's going to draw a card. It's a ghoul. I need to combat 11 plus 2, that's 13. Alright, let's get a Google up here. Pathfinder Ghoul. He Googles. What would be a really gross looking ghoul? That guy is pretty nasty. Alright, let's get some encounter music. Alright, here we go. Let's play my rapier. For your combat check, reveal. Alright, let's try that. His special skills are... He's got some special skills. So let's start with the rapier. Reveal to use strength or acrobatics plus 1d6. His acrobatics... strength is d6. This lets him roll an extra d6. His innate ability says, for your check that invokes finesse, which this card does, you may recharge or reload a card. Okay, let's recharge his handy haversack to use knowledge instead of acrobatics or stealth and add the card's level. Okay, cool. So I take away his acrobatics, I add his knowledge, d10 plus 2. Alright, so that's 10 plus 6 is 16 plus 2 is 18, plus it said I can add the card's level, so that's 19, and I need to get 13, so I'm less than halfway there. Okay, what does Varian have for me? On a local check, on a local check. Here we go. On another character's combat check, he's going to apply Force Missile. Thank you, Varian. Force Missile sound effect. Boom, here it is. On another character's combat check, banish to add 2d4. Alright, so he's going to banish this and add 2d4. Oh, and if proficient, I can recharge this card. Let's see if I can... Yes! Okay. He's going to recharge this card back here. He's going to add 2d4. So that is... There's one. And there's one. Alright, so I got 10, 6, that's 16, plus 8, that's 24, plus 2 for his intelligence, that's 26, plus 1 from that card that he used, that's 27. And I need to get 13, so I am more than halfway there. Alright, I think that's all I can do. Here we go. I roll these and I add 3. A ghastly ghoul. That's exactly right. 4 plus 1 is 5. Plus 4 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. Plus his 3 points is 13. And I needed 13. I got it. I got you, ghoul. I got you. Awesome. Alright, so the ghoul is gone. Spent some serious cartage to get there. Fortunately, I keep my rapier. I don't have anything else that lets me explore. Oh man. Oh man. Oof. I'll tell you what, if I can defeat this pile, I'm just gonna call it done. I'm gonna say we won this. Alright, he's gonna draw up to his hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good, 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 good. And it's gonna be Kira's turn. This is it. This is it. I can feel it. Generic encounter. Okay, here we go. And Kira moves to the alley. Oh, I forgot to do the alley. Boom. It's the alley. Alright, so Kira moves to the alley. She has... I tell you what. So Quinn is going to go ahead and play Staff of Minor Healing. Recharge this to heal a local character or card. He's going to heal Kira. I randomly pick a card in her discard, and I put it back in her draw pile at the bottom. And I'm just making sure she's got a bunch of cool, aggressive spells so that when she draws something nasty, she can go, alright, so she burns down the turn cards. On your check against an outsider, add 1d4. There's only this turn and 1 card left. It's boots. Who cares about boots? Dexterity. She doesn't have enough dexterity, and I'm not going to waste it, so she doesn't get it. Does she have anything that lets her continue exploring? No. Oh, so gross. Alright, here's what she's going to do. She's going to purposely discard several cards. And her divine non-combat check. Yeah. Alright, and she's going to... I'm actually gonna keep this one. Okay, and then she's gonna draw up to her hand 3, 4, 5. She's got some serious cards now, but she's all out of exploration. It's Hakon's turn. Yes, Fry. Boots. Alright, this is the last turn of the game, unless we're into cheating overtime. And I'm not opposed to that, but we'll find out. Alright, I hope this is a big nasty monster. Please be the boss of the game. It's the boss of the game. It's the boss of the game. We did it. We did it, guys. It's the boss of the game. We are legitimately going to beat this game without cheating. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Alright. Alright, here's what the boss of the game looks like. Let's go. That's right. Alright. And we're gonna get some serious music on here. I mean serious music. This is called Epic Space Combat Music. Alright. And we've got Hakon, Kira, and Varian. They're all at this location. We're facing the minor drug lord who has wronged each of them in some way. He might have killed Hakon's loved one and murdered Kira's kid and stole Varian's most precious whatever and is pushing drugs all over the city, so Quinn the investigator is involved. Okay, now Gadron Lamb has a pet alligator. That means, it says right here, I have to defeat him twice. Combat 13 or Survival 8 and then Combat 12. So I gotta pick A or B and I have to go to C regardless. His powers, it says before acting, attempt a Dexterity, Acrobatics, Perception, or Stealth 6 check. And if you succeed, you may evade. If you fail, suffer 1d4 combat damage. Okay, what's his highest? Is it Dexterity? D6? No. Perception? No, he doesn't have that at all. He doesn't have Stealth either. Alright. It's gonna be Acrobatics, D6. Kira's gonna throw a blessing on this. He's not an outsider, is he? No. Okay. Okay, she's gonna throw a regular blessing. That means it gets to have 2 dice. And I'm going to play it. No, I don't have a hero point. What else do I have? On a local combat check. Quinn's not local. He's the only one who's not there. Shut up, Quinn. For your combat check. No. Quinn's gonna be totally useless. On a local arcane. On a local perception. No. Oh, these guys aren't going to be helpful either. Alright, well Quinn can play a hero point. So I'm going to get to roll these 6 twice. Not about to suffer combat damage. Made it on the first try. Now I'll get into the battle. Combat 13 or Survival 8. Well, I don't have Survival, so it's going to be combat. You're going down. On a local combat check, recharged add 1d4. Each local character may discard an ally to add another 1d4. Nice. Okay, so he's gonna play his Roshin. Roshin looks like this. Looks like a short mini hand spear. Reveal this card to use your strength, melee, or acrobatics plus 1d6. So his strength is 1d10. The card says I get to add 1d6. You may additionally bury this card to add another 1d6. I'll think about it. Okay. Then he's going to play his war drum. Actually, yes. I'm going to bury it at another 1d6 because he's got another weapon in hand. Okay. Burying that at 1d6. On a local combat check, recharged at 1d4. So he's recharging his war drum. This is scald power. Alright, so now I've got 12 plus 10, that's 22, plus 1d4, that's 26. I'm halfway there. Does anybody have any allies they can discard? Because that's what the text of the war drum says. Yes. Alright, so he discards one ally. So I get to add another 1d4. 16% laptop battery power. And it is plugged in. This streaming drains my battery like crazy. And I've got... yeah, I'm going to play this card. I'm going to... Kira discards a blessing, and so I get to add another 1d10. Alright, I should blow this first combat out of the way. Out of the water. Here we go. And I get to add a point to this because of his... I get to add 2 points to this. Because of the strength. Good night, Fry. Good night, Asmetic. Anyway, 5 plus 3 is 8, plus 1 is 9, plus 4 is 13. I made it. First combat done. Second combat. Now I'm fighting this alligator. You're not getting out of here alive. Battle Axe. For your combat check, reveal to use your strength, 1d10, plus this 1d8. If proficient, you may discard to do another 1d8. Well, I certainly will. I certainly will. Oh, discard. Right there. 1d8, 1d8. Okay, so now I'm at 26. I need to get 12. Already halfway there. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, plus this 2, that's 28. I might get it with just this. Alright, so Kira is going to throw her Star Knife. On a local combat check, freely recharge to add 1d4. Do I have 1d4? I do. Okay, cool. Alright, so here's a bunch of dice. I get to add 2. I need to get 12 or higher. Fry's here for the action. 6 plus 2 is 8. Plus 6. I got it. I got 12. Okay, he's defeated. That's terrific. Let's close this location. To close or to guard, summon or acquire an ally. That's great news. I'm gonna go to the discard pile. Summon and acquire a frog. Does it say summon and acquire or summon and encounter? Summon and acquire. So I have to get this frog. He uses his wisdom d4 plus she throws another blessing at it. He has to roll 2d4 plus I'm going to throw 2 hero points at it. So I get to roll 3 times to get 4 or higher. I got on the first try. We did it! We did it! Oh my goodness. I am thrilled to announce that we defeated this scenario and we played by the rules and I didn't have to cheat that much. I don't think hero points are this big part of the game, but we did it. We did it, everybody. We did it with your help. Anyway, so thank you, Fry. I'm so glad you're here to share in this moment with me. So here's what's going to happen next, and I'll do this offline because I'm going to go ahead and hang up and go to bed. But I will clean this up, and then each of the characters will get a point to spend on their cards, which is just a way of leveling them up. And so like each of their stats I can color in one of these boxes, and I can add more dice to roll You can optionally increase the hand size. You can give them unique powers. Over here on the back, you can choose to give them more starting cards. And so for having done this, each of the characters gets 1 point, and then I'll spend somewhere on that card. And then I'll rebuild their hand. Each character has a specific set of rules for how a hand is built. And then I'll go to the next one. So I'm going to close tonight with reading the resolution for this encounter. Join me for a little story time. Development. Gage and Lamb's thugs routed and his orphans freed from servitude. Gage and Lamb nonetheless chortles at your situation. The fortune teller sent you against me? Are you sure? And with a laugh, he unveils a wooden hat box. Clunk. And out falls the head of Zalara Esmeralda. She was dead this whole time. And then someone says, I see dead people. But how? You think. And then reflect on how she came and went at a whim. You were led here by a ghost. A harrow deck tumbles out from under the box, a relic of a less tragic time. In your befuddlement, Lamb tries to light out, but is stopped in his tracks. Attracted by the fortune teller's rotting head, Lamb's alligator, Gobblegut, crashes up through the floorboards and scampers at the miscreant, devouring him without hesitation. He will trouble the children of Corvosa no more. Relishing the irony, you pick up the harrow deck and feel Zalara's ghostly energy within. It guides you to a jewel box containing a golden brooch depicting an imp and a house drake curled in mischief. You recognize this insignia. Could this brooch really belong to Queen Iliosa herself? Dun dun dun! Alright, so that's it for game night and episode 2 of Pathfinder Curse of the Crimson Throne adventure card game. I'm going to turn this off. I think everybody should go to bed. And I'm really, really happy that you joined me for this super cool adventure. And I will see you soon. Okay. Bye. Stop the stream. Stop that button. Stop it.